Alright, how's it going, guys? Long time no chat. Thought I'd make this video because I was looking at some old stuff from like some of my first videos that I ever made, and some of the ones in the middle, and maybe pretty nostalgic, a little emotional. Um, but I learned a lot actually from kind of watching these videos, and there were some like relearned lessons that I had learned from the past, and you kind of forget. And I mean, some of the stuff is 4 years old, and then when you watch it again, it really reinforces it, and especially after watching some particular video, it really made me realize why it is that I want to do this, and like why I'm so staunch about or stern about really immersing myself in this as a lifestyle and an occupation. Um, and so this can kind of be something that not only reptile breeders or whatever you might want to really be doing with your life, this is something that you could kind of look at and say, hey, it's kind of a good philosophy. And I think for the most part, you guys will agree with me um, on what I have to say here. So I wanted to just give you a quick update what I'm doing before I get started on that. Um, First of all, I'm going to be somehow getting a proven breeder female pastel ball python. Um, Something that's already bred several times that can give me a good clutch of eggs on a relatively immediate basis. Um, I wanted to wait until I had my own real estate to get involved in this. However, um, in going through the entrepreneurship class um, that I'm in currently at my university, as well as talking with some of the leading ball python breeders and reptile breeders out there, like Brian Barczyk. I want to thank you for the interview that I had with you. It was great. I had to do a project with an entrepreneur, interviewing an entrepreneur. And I chose Brian, of course. I figured he kind of set the precedent for a model business dealing wholesale dealing reptiles. Um, so I learned a lot from him, definitely, in the entrepreneurship class, and kind of coupled with, um, you know, uh, looking at some of these old videos and remembering why I love doing this so much. I made the decision that I need to get started immediately, because if you love something as much as like I do, in terms of this, then I figure it's time to jump right in. There's no better time than now. Why wait? So I'll kind of touch on that later, but that's an update on what I'm doing. Again, female pastel ball python, proven breeder. Hopefully, I can find that by New Year's 2013. If any of you guys might know of something, that'd be great. Private message me, email me, or whatever. So, the reason I did this video was I was looking at some old comments, well, old videos, and some old comments that were on that video, and the video was the tribute to my spider ball python that had died um, as a result of scale rot and like all kinds of subsequent organ failure. Just really unfortunate situation. I almost wish I had had the opportunity to put the animal down instead of let it suffer, but again, another lesson. Anyways, so I was looking at some of the videos or some of the comments, and it was really, really mixed in terms of the reaction. There's a lot of sympathy, and I want to thank some of you guys for that. A lot of you guys, actually, the majority, are sympathetic comments. But of course, there's going to be some comments that are not so sympathetic, are judgmental, and kind of aimed at undermining the level of intelligence that you or that I was kind of projecting. Um, so, again, thank you for for all of you that were sympathetic, and also thank you to those who said things like, you're clearly not um, capable of taking care of these animals in some of the more, uh, I guess, pressing, like really important way. Like when it comes down to it, taking care of the animal is easy, but when it gets sick and there's a whole procedure or series of things that you could do. Maybe I wasn't capable of doing those things when the animal got sick. Because in practice I could take care of the animal. Obviously, I could keep it healthy, but as soon as it got sick, people were saying, "Hey, as soon as this animal got sick, there's nothing that you could do that somebody else could have," or whatever you want to say. Um, you know, I I just I want to thank you for putting that question out there because it made me really think. Am I capable of dealing with that situation if it were to ever come up again? Was I a bad pet owner? Was I not fit for this? Should I have given up? Should I have not? Should I have never started? All these questions kind of came to mind, and I got another private message long time ago, around the same time that this whole thing happened, and the private message says, "Hey, I'm actually in a similar position as to you. Turns out one of my animals," this is the message that I got. He says, "One of my animals actually died. I don't remember what it was that killed the animal, but it died from some sort of disease, and this individual was interested in starting a business based on ball pythons, and he said, how is this going to look? This isn't. I feel like in terms of business, this is going to ruin me, and this is going to make um, people think that I'm a bad pet keeper. And does it make me bad that I had an animal die and I couldn't do anything about it? And I tried everything I could, but it just wasn't enough. These are all the same kinds of things that I made evident in the tribute video. That I had a snake, it got sick, I could have done better, I didn't, it died. That in it. This is the same thing this individual is going through. And so the question is, does it make you a bad pet owner or reptile keeper or whatever if you have an animal die? And my answer to that is no. I think that you are going to be 10 times better at doing what you're doing if you live through that adversity. I think the most important thing about doing anything that's worthwhile is just trying and trying again if at first you don't succeed. Of course, you don't want to cater to the idea of insanity and just like trying and doing the same thing over and over and over again and to no avail. But you want to look at it, what you did, and see how you could go about it a little differently and better the outcome, and be better as a result of that whole incident, because that's truly what doing anything that is worthwhile is all about. Is like I said, adversity comes and adversity goes, and you don't really know what happens after that point, but you can get a good you could get a better outcome by bettering yourself from the adversity. So I don't have the best way with words, but I think you kind of get where I'm coming from. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to say it. There's been a lot of moments in my life where people have told me, this is nonsense. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? All these kinds of things, and as well as the comments that say things along the lines of "you're irresponsible" and "I would never buy an animal from you because one of them died and you're clearly incapable of dealing with it in a proper fashion." You get all kinds of stuff that dampers your spirit and makes you want to quit. But if you're the kind of person that can persevere and get through them and better yourself because of that, you're the kind of person that's going to have success. And so that's why I've made the decision to get started now rather than later, and begin this whole ball python breeding thing. So hopefully I can have some clutches really soon. But Yeah, I just thought it was so funny reading some of those comments because it was in 2008. I was an eighth grader, eighth or ninth grade. Here I'm a freshman in college, and just reflecting back on some of that stuff, it makes you realize why you do what you do. I feel like it'd be super beneficial for people to make blogs and maybe even keep them to themselves and just see how different you are after a couple of years. 4 years and I am a very different person, with the same interests. um, I'll tell you one thing, majority of the difference has to do with confidence right now, um, because I've been through these adversities on, not just on the level of my pets and my snake breeding venture, on a multitude of levels. I've come across adversity and dealt with it and bettered myself, and made it somewhere, um, that I know will ultimately, give me happiness. Those are the moments that I don't even know how to say it really. It's just, they're the make or break moments. They're the best ones you can have. Um, Adversity, I think, makes a person, and if you don't have any adversity, then you have a very warped sense of reality. So, again, the answer to your question: does having an animal that dies make you a bad pet owner? My answer to that is no. It makes you better. Of course, if you're the kind of person that has a multitude of animals dying from the same thing, you might need to reevaluate what you're doing. But again, this is something that you can better yourself from, and I don't think that it makes you a bad pet owner. So to any of you that are dealing with a dying animal, or what have you, um, don't let it get you down. Learn as much as you can from it. Go to the veterinarian. Express, a genuine intellectual curiosity about, what he's doing, and try to really learn, um, how you can better it, or how you can improve the amount of knowledge that you have, so you can you can better future situations. I've been talking for too long. My goodness, I'm not very good at public speaking. Thank God I'm just in my room and this gets publicized, because I'd be stuttering everywhere. So, yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have much else to say, but thank you for everybody that listens, and everybody that has ever, subscribed or done anything for me. A lot of the reason I keep going is because I see a lot of the enthusiasm in you guys. If it's in you, and I can spark that somewhat, and other people out there that are doing the same thing as me can spark that, it kind of reinforces my direction. It makes me want to continue doing what I'm doing. Jeez, I could use a haircut, but you know, keep it up, guys. Don't give up if things aren't turning out your way. And sorry for the length of this video. I'm gonna make it just a little longer. Um, I don't know how I am. I know I had another point I wanted to make. No, I don't think I do. Anyways, I'll make another update video sooner or later. Hope that you guys enjoyed this one. And yeah, keep going. Persevere. Passion. Be passionate. Don't stop. I feel like these are just like hashtags now. Anyways, peace out, guys. Love you all. I'll have another video out very soon.